Hello, hello. We are in pre-production mode for the Xander Gibb show. We're just gonna share the links, let the feeds fill, and we are gonna be coming live to you in about 5 minutes. I just wanted to check in and give you a chance to share the feed. And tell people that we're out there. And I guess also for me to just kind of make sure everything's working right, because I really care about this show. And I really care about what we're doing with this show. And so I want it to be as right as possible, which means ensuring that we get the best possible broadcast for you. So I'm just going to share. If you could click that share button, that would be amazing. No, I don't want to do that. It's saying, would you like to do a watch party on? No, I don't. Go away. It wants me to do a watch party on several different platforms, and I tried that last week. And basically, what it did was it's not letting me do it for some reason. So I will have to do this separately. I don't know about you, but I found Facebook to be very temperamental today. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's liberal or something like that. I'm joking. Don't switch over. I've got some great guests coming up on today's show. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just one moment. I have one of my favorite actors coming on the show as my first guest. And he's been on the show before, and he's from Star Trek. But I find myself wanting to say things like engage and, space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Xandermonium. Together we will travel through the stars and all of that kind of thing. I'm just sharing to groups. But if you could click that share button, I would be most grateful. And I promise if you click the share button, I won't do... I won't do my share impersonation. But if you don't click the share button... sorry, I'm having to concentrate, because what happens sometimes is I share in groups that I'm really not supposed to be sharing in. And I end up getting into trouble and getting banned and, being threatened with having limbs removed and things like that. But we all know how easy it is to make a mistake. So I have to avoid all of the pages that I know will get a bit huffy from me sharing. Just shared to Britain needs Trump. Ain't that the truth? The UK needs Donald Trump more than ever right now. I actually think Boris is doing quite a good job. But I will tell you a little bit more like that in my preamble. We are going to go live in just 1 second. I'm just going to share in a few more groups so that people know that we are live. I don't know why, but I really just went into a little bit of a southern accent there. There we go. All shared. I just have to share it to one more place. And that gives me the opportunity to tell you about the new show page for the show. The Xander Gibb Show page. And if you could go along to that and click like, because from June 1st, we are going to be doing everything from that page. And we will be We will be broadcasting from that page. All of the information will be there, etc., etc. Let me have a very quick look at who is in. The feed is filling gradually. Thanks for sharing. I will come and say hello to all of you individually. I just need to get the YouTube link and then share that on another platform, and then we can begin. I can say engage as if we were on a vessel traveling through space at 200 miles. 200 miles now. What is it? Warp speed. That's what it is. We would be, indeed, we would be traveling at warp speed. For extra bonus points, does anyone know in the live feed what the maximum warp you can go at in space in Star Trek language? No, it's not Star Trek night. We haven't just got a Star Trek guest. We also have. Sorry, I'm having trouble here with the. I'm frozen. But I guess it's just maybe my computer, because none of you have said, Xander, you're frozen because your screen is open. So I'm guessing. Here we go. Let's see if I can do this. We've got shut up, Xander. Okie dokie. Well, we are ready to start the show. My computer is running slowly for some reason, but I'm keeping my little fingers crossed that it won't cause any major issues. I did a silly thing before I started the show. I basically put the heat on, and now it's like a sauna in here, and I didn't even bring a towel or, a magazine to put under my arm. Oh, yes, Siri. Just having some trouble with this link. But as soon as there we go. Let me copy this link. And then I have to post it in 2 places. And then this computer. If anyone wants to buy a very unpredictable computer, you can have it for, I don't know, I'll give you $20, maybe more. That's assured to one place. And now I am just about to share it to another. Why won't it share? It's shared. Okay, so we are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cue opening titles.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were they were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. True love before. Seen so many counterfeits.
welcome to today's episode of the Xander Gibb Show. I am, of course, Xander Gibb, and nothing's working as it's supposed to today, but that's show business, folks. Welcome to the Xander Gibb Show, the talk show that really does get you talking on the Xandermonium Network, live from an undisclosed location, and no, it ain't your mother's basement. Bringing you the best in Patriot broadcasting. As I said, I'm Xander Gibb. On today's show, I'll get on my soapbox and give you the chance to get on yours too in our phone in. Star Trek's very own Mono Enterame drops by, and in part two, comedian Steven Snyder joins us. You can have your say below in the live feed. I'm going to come say hello to everyone individually in just one moment, and as usual, I'll be sharing your comments as we go. You can call when we get to that segment. The number is up on the screen. I'm not sure which side it is. 845-363-4747. And when we get to that point, 845-363-4747. And if you're in the USA, but if you're not, you can Skype me at Xander Gibb. I will, of course, be back with Joe Messina on the real side, 7 o'clock Pacific, and you can follow me on social media and check me out at xandergibb.com. Oh, yes, siree. Let's see who's in the live feed and say hello if my computer actually lets me get there. Hi to Sharon. Hello to Neil. Yes, there are two guests on tonight. The ones I just shared. No more talk about Joe Exotic, Neil. Hi to Tommy. Hope you're good. Hello to Chet. Welcome to the show, sir. Hello to my Gina. I hope you're good. Hello to who else is there? Hello to Swoop. Welcome to the show. Hello to my friend Pat. I hope you're good. Hello to who else is that? I can't see. Hello to CV. Hello to who else is there? I see lots of bat things in the live feed. No, it's not my mom's basement. I don't live with my mom. I live in a cottage and we don't have a basement. Yes, and I will be on Freedom on Deck this Sunday, and we will tell you a little bit more about that when we do the phone-in. So the UK today shipped in thousands of Romanians to pick fruit and vegetables. Now, they weren't vetted or tested for COVID-19. Now, surely there must be enough British workers out there that could do this, or at least be trained to do so. It seems a little fishy to me. Now, Nancy Pelosi, I don't know if you saw this, she was interviewed by James Corden in one of his lockdown shows. They all stole that lockdown live phrase from me. And she was showing off her hordes of designer gourmet ice cream, which I thought was a little bit bad considering people, are struggling to get food. I wasn't left wondering if her lips got stuck to the ice cream, but I was, however, wondering how Corden got his lips unattached from Pelosi's butt. But ew, ew, and double ew. That was such a suck fest. The UK government has just announced another 3-week lockdown. I would like to announce that it's freaking unbearable. I'm climbing the walls. And how are people supposed to deal with this lockdown? For the first time in history, people have been on an enforced quarantine for other people being sick. Now, we obviously need to give some credence to the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. And we should contain it as quickly as possible. But we need a forward plan, and we need them to act quickly before the economy is destroyed, both sides of the pond. I have to just tell you about TikTok very quickly. I'm addicted to TikTok. My name is Xander Gibb, and I'm a TikTok addict. Go and check it out. Go and check out my page. It's a bit more comedic than my usual stuff. Let me know what you think. We've got time for a couple of calls. You can call us now, 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. Sharon says, Nancy Pelosi is Satan's handmaiden on earth. I would have sworn that was Hillary, but I don't know, maybe they can vie for first place. Neil says, rich people out of touch with reality, water wet, sky blue. Yeah, I don't know. I am really trying. I've prayed a lot about this. I want to find good things to say about people, including Democrats, but I'm finding that quite difficult to do right now. Is it just me? Chet says young, able-bodied individuals should not be shut down. Absolutely. Neil says how to respond to COVID: ignore politicians and acquire scientists. I would agree. I don't think Fauci is doing a very good job. I think he's a bit of a deep state. He's got a foot in too many places. I think. I know we have a call. Let's see who this is. Hello, you're live on the Xander Gibb Show. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello?
Mr. Gibb.
Hello, Chet. How is the world with you? You didn't come up with your name. That's why I was a little confused.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm calling from the landline right now.
No worries.
So sometimes, I do that so I can watch you. Like, I'm watching on my device, so that's why I do that sometimes.
Absolutely. So how's the lockdown going for you? Because you're still working, aren't you, in your day job?
Yeah, I'm out working. I came home today, and I found out some bad news. A good childhood friend of mine put up on Facebook that his mother had passed away from COVID-19, and she's the first person that I know directly to die from COVID-19, and she's my mother's age. So it kind of puts a reality check out there. First of all, she was a beautiful woman. When we were teenagers and we were causing problems and drinking and playing in punk bands, she would always come out and bring some brie cheese for us, and always had some great insights. She's a great businesswoman from Manhattan, but she always worked, and I don't know how she contracted it yet. I haven't asked. I haven't really looked into all that yet, but unfortunately, it did take her. She was an elderly woman. She was 78. So, the thing is, Xander, I agree that we have to be careful with our elderly, with people that are compromised, but young, able-bodied adults need to get back into the workforce and make these economies move.
Yes, I agree with you totally. I think it's making us all paranoid too. My foot doctor came to see me today because they're not working in the surgeries and stuff right now, and he told me, he's had COVID-19, he's had the coronavirus as they're calling it in the UK, and it made me a little paranoid. The guy had a mask on, he had gloves, and and I've had hay fever. I've had hay fever symptoms today, and you get this kind of little bell ringing in the back of your brain, thinking, oh, did he give me the COVID? And it's actually made us. I think while we need to be cautious, I want to make this clear to people out there because I always get accused of making light of things. We do need to be very careful out there. But we have to draw the line between being careful and paranoia, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And, we do have to take it seriously, but to the point where, they're creating these numbers and they're creating stories, and that's what really bothers me, especially in New York. I'll tell you, Xander, it was probably about 2 weeks ago when this was really hitting the fan. And my cousin from Ohio came on and he said, in New York, they're putting people in, flatbed trucks and piling bodies up in New York. And, I came on, I said, John, that's not true. Where did you hear that?
No.
And, he actually heard it from a post that was put up on ABC News. So they're promulgating these fake news stories about what's actually happening. And, of course, there are people dying, but we don't need to create these fake numbers. And from what I'm seeing, Xander, a lot of the numbers that they're giving out there are people dying from other things, but the CDC is telling everybody, well, just call it they died from the coronavirus, when it's not that.
Yeah, but that's dangerous in itself because it gives us a false picture of what the situation is. And, I'm not really a fan of Dr. Phil, but I saw Dr. Phil, a video he did on Twitter. He said, every year in the United States, thousands of people are dying from suicide and car wrecks and drugs and and from smoking, but we don't shut the country down for it. You know, I'm all for a balance, but I'm not sure this balance is right, you know, and I'll probably get shot down. I get into trouble whatever I say, but I think that that's a fair thing to say. What we need right now is balance. But let me ask you this, Chet. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good a job do you think that Donald is doing in coordinating all of this?
Well, first of all, I think he should get a 10 because he was ahead of this when everybody is trying to claim that he wasn't.
Yeah.
He was called a racist for trying to shut down flights incoming from China, and he was the first person to call out the Chinese government for hatching this thing. And I don't care what anybody says. They did this purposefully. They let it out. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they should pay in some kind of way. But
Right.
I don't know how we'll get to that point, Xander, because they manufacture all of our damn pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, thanks to Billy Bob and George Bush. Thanks to Billy Bob and George Bush, they hold us to ransom. I want to ask you very quickly because we're time bound. I know I'm coming on your show this weekend. Who else is coming on? Tell us a little bit more about that very quickly.
Well, Dr. Kendra Becker's coming on, and you know her, and
Yeah,
she's really
she's
going to
fab.
be talking about Dr. Fauci, and she's going to be talking about the money that he has tied up in this. We're going to talk about Bill Gates, all the money that's going to be made off of this. So that's going to be interesting. We have Josh and Nicole Landers from the Parent to Parent Network. They're on with us. Really, this weekend is coming back from Easter break, and we've got 3 of our regulars coming on the program. And there's nothing better than our regulars. We have the best regulars
Absolutely.
in radio.
Same,
You know, we
same
do.
here. And it's funny how we kind of like our guests kind of intertwine. We have Kendra on quite a lot because I do a lot about diet because obviously I've been on this keto for 9 months and lost like 138 pounds, and her advice has been so valuable during all of this. But we have to leave it there because my first guest is going to be with us anytime. But I look forward to speaking to you very soon. I look forward to being on the show on Sunday. So sorry for your loss, and give my best to your family.
Oh, absolutely, Xander. Have a good one. We'll talk to you Sunday.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Chet. Take care.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
God bless you too, my brother. That was Chet Martin, anchor from Freedom on Deck. Make sure you go and check out the Freedom on Deck page and listen to the show, especially this Sunday, not just because I am on, but it is pretty good every week. They are our sister show, brother show, whatever you want to call it. We all work very closely together in order to kind of further this making America greater agenda. Now, as I said, my next guest, he is my first guest, Stephen. He's an actor, a writer, a producer, and former Borg drone. He starred as Ichib in Star Trek Voyager and has of late played many diverse roles. We'll talk to him about that in a mere moment. He was not included in the recent Star Trek series Picard, I've got the wrong teeth in, and his character was killed off, which I thought was a little bit alarming. We will ask him about this and so much more when he calls us any second now. I would just love it just once that when you go any second now, that the phone would ring. Sharon says, open up the businesses and let Americans get back to work. Wash your hands, social distance, but get back to work. Only people with the virus should be quarantined. Sharon says, keto is a great diet if you can eat some awesome stuff and have the pounds roll off you. If you follow it correctly. I got weighed this week. I've lost 138 pounds, which is just shy of 10 stones in this country. And I would never believed if anyone had told me 9 months ago that I would be 138 pounds lighter. I mean, I've got a long way to go, but I actually feel a lot better for doing that. Keto is a very good diet for those that are able to do it. The one side effect that I have found is that it has slightly raised my cholesterol, but I can live with that because that will kill me a lot slower than being so much overweight. We are just waiting for Manu and Jeremy to call in. Let me just go backwards. I saw a couple of other things in the feed. Sharon was telling us our age. Sharon, you don't look a day over 40, my darling. Hello to Maria. Welcome to the live feed. What else did I see? Something that yep, it is a lot of weight, and I have a long way to go, but I for the first time I actually feel like I'm going to get there, and then we'll be able to get to the bottom of some other problems. The other thing that is really good about the keto diet is that it takes it can actually if you eat wrong teeth in tonight. If you actually stick to the diet, it can actually put you into remission from diabetes, and that's what it did for me. And I'm glad that happened. I'm still waiting for Manu to call. I'm not sure if I can actually call him. I will try to do that. Maybe. Let's see if it will let me do that. See if I can do this without I'm looking for the number. No, I never know with Skype if I have to dial like internationally. No, not letting me do that for some reason. So we're just waiting for Manu to call. Manu and Jeremy from Star Trek, who's joining us as my first guest. Chet says, I think with keto, you can work on getting the blood pressure down when you get to the proper weight. Yeah, that's the way I see it. I think that I'll stay on this for a year and then go on a low fat, high fiber diet. But the problem is, one of the things that I was supposed to start was I was supposed to start some physio in the pool, but obviously all of the pools have been closed here in the UK, so you know it's not happening. We're still waiting for Manu to call. Maybe I'll just try it this way. Let me put this in here. Open up the Skype. Do the keypad. I don't like Skype, really. I don't. No, can't get it to work. Drink water. What's that? What are you telling me, Neil? I'd rather have a beer right now, to be honest. Right, let's see if I can do this way. Trying to type in this number without giving it away. Right, let's see if I can. Is it going to let me place the call?
No routes found.
Well, I guess it's not letting me call out. For some reason, we're just waiting for Manu and Jeremy from Star Trek to call us. Sharon says our gyms are closed here too. Yeah, that it's a worry. I wonder if they're actually giving people their money back and such for that. I would have canceled my my subscription, and one of my friends who has a bar has canceled all of their cable and that kind of thing, because you know, why would you pay for it indefinitely if you're not there and you're not able to use it. Neil was saying substitute as many beverages as you can with water. That's all I drink. All I drink is water. That's what I've got just here. My my bottle of water, my trusty bottle of water. I don't drink. I can't drink water straight. And I don't mean I put vodka in it. I have to have it carbonated because it doesn't feel like such a kind of bind to do. So I'm still waiting for Manu. I'm hoping he's gonna call me any second so we can do the interview with him. Well, thank you very much. CV says I'm entertaining enough without a guest. That's very nice of you to say so. Did any of you see that interview this week with Nancy Pelosi and James Corden? Was it just me, or was it kind of? Did it seem like Nancy was being very decadent with her two, enormous freezers? And I wonder if there are any dead bodies in there. Imagine doing through the keyhole at Hillary's house. Can you imagine how many dead bodies there would be in Hillary's freezer? Did you do you know that's kind of a worry? Chet says seltzer is already better, always better even. And Sharon says she likes water with a wedge of lemon. It makes it go down easier. What I tend to do quite often is buy like a sugar-free cordial, like a Vimto cordial, and just pour a little bit of that into the bottle of water. It makes it a little bit more interesting. When I go out, I drink a couple of sodas, but I don't buy it in the house because it's kind of too tempting. When I have a drink, when I have an alcoholic drink, I use lemonade as the mixer. So it's about keeping it interesting as possible. I can still eat things like chocolate. It has to be 70% cacao, and a company called Lindt makes that, and you can eat that on the cocoa diet, on the keto diet. But the thing is, you go over at 70, if you get the 85% cacao, it tastes like, remember when your mom used to bake when you were a kid and she used to use cooking chocolate and you would steal a square and it's like, nah, not very nice. Doesn't do it for me. CV says he would recommend Dan Bongino's interview with John Solomon. Well, I will have to check that out. Neil says, all the federal politicians are living way too high on the hog on our dime. Can you believe that Pelosi tried to stick all the extra stuff in? In a time of crisis like this, surely the biggest concern should be ensuring that the American citizens get what they need. Forget about the Kennedy Center. Extra money for the Kennedy Center. It doesn't save lives. I'm sure it has a function. I'm sure it has a purpose. But I don't think that that's essential right now. I really don't. I'm just wondering where Manu is. I hope nothing's happened. Wonder if I can try and call him via a different method. Sharon says, John and I have been drinking Canada Seltzer tonic water. It contains quinine, which helps stave off COVID-19. People have been drinking tonic water in malaria-prone areas for a couple of centuries. Yeah, I've heard that. CV says white chocolate is also great. Too much sugar in white chocolate. I don't know if you can get pure chocolate in white chocolate. Chet says, I wouldn't wish a certain Democrat to get COVID. That's interesting, because I was on Twitter the other day and I saw someone wishing that, I saw a Democrat wishing that Donald Trump would get Twitter. I don't want Nancy to get Twitter. That was Freudian. That someone was wishing that Donald Trump would get COVID-19, and that's a concern for me. I don't want anybody to get it. I don't want anybody to be sick. I vehemently disagree with many of the policies of the Democrats, but I don't want any of them to get sick. I think that says so much about you if you actually want people to get sick. I don't think that Manu is calling in now. I'm so sorry for those of you that tuned in for that. I will have to make sure he gets a good spanking and make sure that the Borg reassimilate him. What else did I want to tell you about? Prince Harry and Meghan. There's rumors that they are about to split. Apparently, he's finally seen through her, and this is all just kind of like rumor and speculation and gossip. But it wouldn't surprise me. What does that say about someone who kind of doesn't let you? I say doesn't let you, or doesn't encourage you to see your family. If you're in a relationship with someone and they don't want you to see your family, that is a total worry for me. It really is. But what do you think, guys, think about that? Do you think that they will end up splitting up? Apparently, she's been telling people in the UK what a big star she was in America. I mean, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Apparently, she was only in Suits. I don't know of anything else that she was in. Neil says, where are we? The wisest person I knew once said, politicians have never known what it is to be, what's not to be wealthy. That's why they have no idea what it's like to be normal. I mean, I'm sure some of them weren't wealthy at one point, but for me, the whole idea of being a politician, how it used to be, was that you would do it for a few years and then you would go back to your job. A lot of people who I know that have been politicians, this is why I believe there should be term limits in all states, because that would cut down a lot of the corruption. It would also ensure that they tried to do the best job possible. But a lot of politicians have just become career politicians. Chet says, actually, he wanted her to be injected with COVID-19. Who wanted who to be injected with COVID-19, Chet? Neil says, and that's why nothing they say makes sense. Well, I guess, some of what some of them say. One that really concerns me right now is that Gretchen, whatever her name is, from Gretchen Hitler from Michigan. She's pretty worrying, saying people should only be buying, the essentials. You can't grow your own vegetables. Why is America coming to when American governors are telling people not to grow their own vegetables? Hasn't it been, something that they've done from time immemorial? People growing their own vegetables. I don't know if any of our listeners are in Michigan right now, but come to the chat room. Tell us what you think. Chet says, screw the royal family. Well, maybe one or two of them. Sharon says, term limits for sure. Yeah, I definitely think that that's something that needs to be instituted at a federal level. I think that there is always this row that, states should have their own control. But when you see people like Gretchen, I can't remember her last name, from Michigan, when she behaves like that, makes me question, should states have that same level of control that they're given? I think not, really. It really is a worry. Hello to Camille, welcome. Chet says, oh, this piece of crap contributor on CNN wanted Melania to be injected with COVID-19. Wow. And they tweeted that. Sharon says she's a full-out Marxist. I think she means the governor of the state of Michigan. CV said he lost the feed for a minute. I don't know if anybody else did. It's not stopped here. It's continued to go. I'm really disappointed we didn't get Manu Enter-Amy. I will try and book him again at some point if he can be bothered to turn up. My next guest is going to be coming on very soon. He's a comedian, so we'll have some fun with him about the hot topics that have gone on this week. It seems a lot of people are feeling guilty right now about having, fun and enjoying themselves with the things that are going to, going on in the world. Apparently, hundreds of asylum seekers have traveled to London to submit claims during this pandemic. I'm going to talk a little bit later with Stephen D. Snyder about what's going on in California with regards to the stimulus money, which is rather concerning. I actually heard today that the Chinese government are now saying that they grossly underestimated the numbers of deaths in China and Wuhan, et cetera, and they said it was an administrative error. I don't believe it was an administrative error. I am concerned how they've dealt with this, and I'm also concerned at the level of response from the World Health Organization, because they did say to begin with, nothing, nothing to worry about. You don't need to wear masks, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. And quite clearly, we did. CV says, yeah, Twitter is fine with that CNN a-hole. Yeah, I was attacked by someone on Twitter a few weeks ago, and because I had a blue check, they got away with it. Yeah, I've been shadow banned too. What happens is if you piss a Democrat off on Twitter, they get all of their friends to report you and say that your account has been compromised. I mean, wake up, Jack. If all of the conservatives left Twitter, I think it would be a different place. CV says more evidence is coming out that it is a bioweapon. Yeah, I read that today. I think it's interesting. I'm not an immunologist, but maybe you can ask Dr. Kendra this tomorrow on Sunday when she comes on your show. Because usually viruses are indiscriminate. They will attack everybody. So the flu is a virus. Adults get it, children get it, everybody gets it. But apparently very few or no children have actually got this virus. So, it's a real concern. Neil says, America is on the verge of cultural civil war perpetuated by for-profit media working for politicians who are bought and paid for by faceless corporations that only care about making money. People are putting politics before family and are being programmed to hate each other and not think for themselves. We have to stop listening to them and work together for the common good of all of mankind. You might be surprised. I agree. I pretty much agree with that. And the concern is, for me, what we should be doing. There are Democrats out there that are pliable, that are willing to listen, and I think that we should be working on them. So many Democrats have left the plantation, as it were, and have come over to our side of thinking. But I want harmony, and I think the current leadership of the Democrats are what's to blame for that. So it really is it really is an interesting topic even. I'm going to do the introduction for my next guest. His name is Stephen D. Snyder. He's a comedian, writer, and all-around great guy, and he's going to be calling us from California any moment now. CV says this has combo genes from more than one type of virus, which gives it no ancestry for its nature. Chet says the problem is that conservatives only bitch and moan when banning happens to their accounts, but don't stand up for other allies. Absolutely, I agree with that 200%. Obviously, you and I are kind of contrary to that rule because we still support each other when that happens. But nobody cares when my account gets banned because I've shared something. I got banned from doing live feeds for things that I shared 6 months ago about someone I could not possibly have known that they would deem as, you know, wrong or bad or whatever in the future. Chet says the only one that ever did for Freedom on Deck was Xander. Oh, right. Yeah, absolutely. I have, those who have my back, I have their back too. I'm just waiting for Steven to call us. He should be calling any second now. Like I said, I wish that would occur one of these times when I say now that the phone would actually ring. So we're just waiting for Steven to call us. Let me have another look at the live feed. Yeah, I think it's a concern that conservatives are being shadow banned on social media. And then when you say anything about it, people say, oh, that's not the case. But we know for a fact that it is. Oh, yes, indeed. Here we go. This should be my next guest now, calling all the way from the United States of America, the one, the only, the fabulous Mr. Stephen D. Snyder. Welcome back to the show, sir. How is the world with you?
Oh, it is fantastic. It is just great. Got my nipples pierced today. I got a tattoo of a gremlin wearing a tie-dye shirt on my taint. I'm ready to go.
Are you running for governor or something?
No, I thought about running for governor, but Cuomo's got me covered in that category.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be sticking with the male escort business.
Really? And how much are you going to charge per hour? And are you picky about clientele?
Well, here's the deal, Xander. I have class. I have standards. I'm at least charging $20 an hour.
An hour?
So,
wow.
Yeah, I've got standards. So 20 an hour, yeah. Got to have standards.
Absolutely. I could say so much there, but I won't because I don't want to get into trouble. So let's jump right in to our first topic. Governor Gavin Newsom of California has said that he's going to cut checks to the poor illegals that are struggling to pay their bills because of the coronavirus pandemic. The state governor announced this Wednesday, becoming the first state predictably to offer a package to people who aren't in the country legally. State taxpayers will shell out $75 million from their disaster fund, and another $50 million will come from a network of philanthropic foundations. Governor Gavin Newsom said, undocumented immigrants, adults can get a $500 check with a maximum of $1,000 per household. Newsom's anticipated that about 150,000 people will get a check, a small fraction of the state's population of 2 million, perhaps. Now, what do you make of this? Are you pissed about this? Are you as pissed as I am? And what the hell does this guy think he's doing?
Well, first of all, it's completely unconstitutional. It's aiding and abetting. It goes against the foundations of this country. It's illegal to do. He's basically stealing money from California citizens and giving it to illegal aliens. Let me repeat that.
Yes.
Stealing money from California citizens and giving it to illegal aliens.
Right.
So
right.
Really what's happening is what's stopping him from giving $500 to everybody in Mexico? Why not that?
Yeah.
Why stop there? Why not give $500 to everybody in China?
China?
Why not give $500 to everybody in India? You might as well.
I think China right now is on a slow boat to China because everybody I speak to never wants to buy anything from China again. And most of the crap, you go on these websites like Amazon, most of the crap is on there is from China. So eventually, China's going to end up going bankrupt. as a result of all of this. But one of the things that Gavin Newsom said, which kind of surprised me, this is liberal logic for you. He actually had the audacity to say, well, these people are taxpayers. When they're going out and buying things, they're paying tax. So that means that everybody that visits the great state of California, whatever country you come from, that you could apply for the stimulus check based upon that.
Yeah, I can't believe the people of California have not grabbed pitchforks and shotguns and torches and have descended upon all of these rulers' homes, because essentially what's happened here, this is the Democrats and the left grabbing a lot of power, and the Republicans in California are the biggest group of pussies and the most worthless group of assholes I've ever seen.
Right.
So anyway, I want if anybody is from California, okay, I want to talk to the single mom who's a waitress who lost her job because Newsom shut the country down. Think about this, miss. You probably vote Democrat. You are basically he's taking money out of your children's mouths, food out of your children's mouths, and he's giving it to illegal aliens. So all of you unemployed people in California, this is what you get when you elect Governor Gavin Newsom.
Right. Absolutely. But I kind of think it's going to be the same in New York State with Bill de Blasio, just from the perspective of, he's in the same mindset. I have a dream. My dream is that, before I move back to the United States, that New York will turn red again. Wouldn't it be great if California could turn red too? I mean, surely people are tired of this BS.
Yeah, unfortunately, in these dark blue cities, in these dark blue states, they have so much voter fraud, Xander. They just ballot harvest. They stuff ballots. They lie, cheat, and steal. I mean, that's the biggest problem, is the voter fraud and the election fraud, because they're rampant through all these dark blue states.
And this is, of course, why they want. This is why people like Hillary Clinton are calling for an all mail-in ballot for the next election, because it ensures the only way they're going to get a win.
Exactly. That's exactly what they want. That's the next scam. They don't want to do any kind of voter ID. Now, to leave your house, they want you to have a pass, or a vaccination card, or some kind of hall pass to leave your house. But to vote, nope. Just come right in. And they know they'll steal the election if they get an all mail-in ballot. They know they'll steal the election because of how much voter fraud the Democrats are engaged in. Now, the Republicans are a group of useless buffoons who just sit back and they just let the Democrats do anything they want. See, the Republicans are kind of like the abused housewife of the D.C. relationship.
Yeah.
And they have all of these excuses for their drunk, abusive husbands who are the Democrats. Oh, he only drinks on the weekends, or I only fell down the stairs once. That's the problem.
Right.
So unfortunately, the little guy gets screwed, the middle guy gets screwed, and it makes sense why they're trying to take Trump out.
But there's a whole difference between Republicans and Trump Republicans, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you would agree. I consider myself to be a libertarian, and I actually joined the Republican Party in order to support Donald Trump. But there is a world of difference and diversity between Republicans and Trump Republicans, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a libertarian. I'm a hardcore libertarian. I don't care if you're gay and you're married and you want to protect your cocaine stash and your pot plants with fully automatic machine guns.
Right.
I'm your guy. That's me. I'm a hardcore libertarian, and I'm a Trump guy. Absolutely.
And I think that this has really sorted the wheat from the chaff. There are so many CINOs out there that rejected Trump, and they actually voted for Hillary Clinton. On what planet can you call yourself either a conservative or a Republican and vote for the Democrats? I mean, that's like, kissing the devil's ass, surely.
Yeah, those people are cucks. That's what I call them. They're called cucks. They like being punished, and they're like the Mitt Romney types, okay? They're like the John McCain types, the George W. Bush types. They're the establishment, good old boys who talk a big game, and then when it comes right down to it, they do the exact opposite.
Absolutely. Now, before we move on to our next topic, I wanted to ask you: did you see that Colin Kaepernick has donated like a six-figure sum to help with COVID-19? But he specified that he only wants it to be spent on Black and Brown people. So my first question is, what's the difference between Black people and Brown people? And is this by any other name racism?
This is racism. Colin Kaepernick is a vile piece of trash.
Right.
He's a failed quarterback. He looks like a hemorrhoid. That's who Colin Kaepernick is. And essentially, who's to determine what skin pigmentation you really are?
Yeah.
Are you black? Are you brown?
Yeah.
What hue are you? Does he have like a sliding scale?
Color chart.
Does he bring palettes and put it up to your skin?
Right.
Swatches? Does he bring swatches? Oh, you're not black enough. What if you tan?
Yeah.
What if you pretend you're black?
Yeah.
What if you pretend you're brown? What if you overly tan and you're kind of orange? What if you self-identify as a black person or a quote-unquote brown person? Then what happens?
Yeah.
What about albino black people? What happens to them?
Exactly.
The albino blacks just get tossed to the side.
Yeah, for sure. So what are they going to do? Go around with a color chart and say, oh, you've tested positive for COVID-19, but because you don't match this pigment, we're not going to give you any cash because Colin Kaepernick says you can't have it if you're black or brown. I mean, I usually used to give out award for the Democratic Dumbo of the Week, but this, he has to take this award hands down. I really do think so. Because that's idiotic.
He is the epitome of what's wrong with this country. He was raised by an all-white family. He lives around a gated community surrounded by rich, guilty white people.
Yeah.
And yet it's white people that have made him a millionaire. By many of his fans are white people. They go out, they bought his jersey, and now he's a millionaire because several white people did. And I'm not saying that other races didn't. I'm saying a lot of white people did too.
Absolutely.
But white people have really helped him. But white people are the devil, and white people are the bad redheaded stepchild.
Absolutely. Sleep with one eye open, you white devils. I want to move on to our last topic because we're time bound. Last month, Tara Reid, a former assistant to Joe Biden, when he was in the Senate, accused him of sexual assault during that time. Now, Bernie Sanders responded to them for the first time on Thursday, saying Reid has a right to make her claims and get a public hearing. Sanders was asked about the claims in a Thursday interview with CBS this morning, partly because Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a prominent Sanders supporter, said he recently said the allegations are relevant when it comes to deciding whether to vote for Biden. I think it's relevant to talk about anything, and I think every woman who feels she has been assaulted has every right in the world to stand up and make claims, Sanders said. The public will make their own conclusions about it. He also continued to say, I just don't know enough about it to comment further. Well, isn't it a shame that the Democrats didn't behave like that with regards to Neil Gorsuch and the accusations that were levied at President Trump when he was running for office?
Yeah, look, the media have an agenda, and it's to promote big government leftism and authoritarian complete control. That's the media's agenda. The media and the Democrat Party and the leftists and academia and Hollywood, they're all part of the big in-club group of people that want to control and run every single aspect of your life. This is a disinformation campaign, and CNN's not going to report on it. MSNBC's not going to report on it. Now, to be fair, Joe Biden deserves due process.
Right.
He deserves
due
process. However, they need to at least report on the accusations. They made up stuff about Trump, and yet they just create phony issues out of thin air. But Joe Biden is a disgusting pervert, and you've seen all of the photos of him sniffing hair, grabbing kids, grabbing women by their breasts, women on their butts, openly kissing women and little kids. He's just a disgusting old man.
Yeah, it's kind of a concern for me. I trained in social work, and one of the things that we were taught to do as social workers was never put yourself in a position where anyone could point the finger. So like not be alone in a room with someone, et cetera, et cetera. But we've got photographic evidence about this guy. We've got video evidence. You can't tell me that some of the gross things he's done are just him being a nice person.
Yeah, you know who Joe Biden reminds me of? He's that creepy uncle who's always in your basement at family gatherings. He's down there with creepy Uncle Bernie, and they're always like, "Don't let the kids down there without supervision. Creepy Uncle Joe's down there." That's
exactly
what Joe Biden is. He's forgetful, and I can't wait until they debate.
Oh,
Trump have to debate because Trump is going to mop the floor with him. Joe Biden cannot talk or form complete sentences. The man has had many brain problems.
Yeah,
and it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, you just took the word. You just took that. That was going to be my next point, because here's a concern for me. I saw an interview we did with Joe. He had Joe Biden on with him. Don't you think it's mean that his wife and the Democrats are trotting him out, because he's clearly a placeholder? But I don't think he's going to get as far as the debates, because he could not cope with the debates. He's struggling now. The Joe Biden we're seeing now is clearly dementing. And I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose people properly, but I've worked with enough people with dementia to know the signs of it. And the thing is that ultimately, the vice president Joe Biden is a different Joe Biden than we're seeing now. Oh, I don't know, or was it? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think Joe Biden, he's been in Washington for many years. He clearly has dementia. He's clearly senile. He clearly has Alzheimer's. He's clearly just disgusting, perverted old man. And they're propping him up. I think they're just throwing him to the wolves because I think Michelle Obama plans on running in 2024. And I think that they, all the polls they're putting out about Biden beating Trump. Look, you still got to show up and vote, folks, and you got to bring people with you to vote,
right.
Do all your, due diligence. But the fact of the matter is Trump is going to mop the floor with them, and they know it. So they're just throwing him to the wolves.
This is just. I don't know. I can't store enough popcorn for the for the debates. I really can't. But who do you think? Who do you think is going to be? Who is Joe the placeholder for? Do you think it's Michael Obama, or do you think that it's somebody else?
I believe that they are going to give it to Joe, and I think they're going to let Joe run with it because I think they don't want to blow Michelle Obama yet. So I think that
don't go there.
They're going to. Yeah, well, that's Michael Obama. I think, look, at the end of the day, I think that Bernie, he's going to have some fun. It's going to be a disaster. The Democrat convention, whenever they hold it, it's going to be great. It's going to be a disaster, and it's going to be a dumpster fire. So it's going to be great. But I believe that it'll still be Joe, and they think that Joe can beat Trump, but a lot of them know that he can't. So that's why they're throwing him to the wolves.
Absolutely. I don't think they have a viable candidate. I thought they were either going to throw, slide in Michael Obama or even Hillary Clinton for another run, but clearly that would be the kiss of death. But it does remain to be seen, because I right now would not put anything past the Democrats. I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either. That's actually, they are a group of globalists who want to control every single aspect of your life. They want to tell you what to eat, what you can say, what you can think, where you can live, how much money you can make, where you can go, where you can travel, what you read. They want to literally control every single aspect of their life.
Absolutely.
And they know Joe Biden, they can control Joe as well.
Exactly. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had a huge hand in exactly what the things that are happening to both the United Kingdom and the United States right now to further this liberal agenda. We have to leave it there, unfortunately. Tell people where they can find out more about you, what you're doing. I know we're all on hold right now. We're all on lockdown and climbing the walls, but tell people where they can find you.
You can go to StephenDSnyder.com. That's StephenDSnyder.com. On there, you can find links to all of my information, my documentaries, my comedy podcast, my book, everything. So, StephenDSnyder.com.
Yeah, and the calendar is coming out in December, right?
It is. It's coming out in December. Fully nude, $5 a pop.
Yeah.
Again, I have class. I have to make a little bit of money. So
Absolutely.
Fully nudes, $5 a pop, coming out in December.
Wonderful. Don't forget my autographed copy.
Exactly.
Okay, brother. Thanks a lot. Give my best to your lovely wife and daughter, and have a great weekend.
You too, Xander. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, brother. Take care.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was comedian Stephen D. Snyder. Make sure you go and check him out. All of his contact information is on the Xander Gibb show page for today. Make sure you stick around and catch me on the real side. I'm sorry that Mono Interami didn't call in as we had booked him. I don't know what to tell you about that. Thanks to everyone in the live feed. Thanks to everybody who has shared the show. We will find out afterwards who has clicked that share button, because I think people think they might get COVID-19 from clicking it, but I assure you, you won't. If you didn't press the share button, please press it before you go. Please set up an alarm so you can see when I will be broadcasting. There'll be so much going on next week. We'll do a couple of midweek broadcasts. Please stay safe. Please make sure you don't kiss any Democrats. I am joking, of course. Don't kiss anybody. And make sure you say thank you. We will see you next time on the Xander Gibb Show. Until then, take care. I really do love you all. Bye-bye.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were they were bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact, and I can find no ribs. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and era don't dictate.
Click the bell button and subscribe to keep up with the Xander Gibb Show. Oh yes, sirree.